Hi everyone, welcome to Marianne's Mystic Mentions. I'm Marianne. Welcome to your March readings. I have started with Pisces this time around, and I'm ending with Aquarius, but this is the reading for Taurus. Hi Tauruses. Now this is for the Sun, Moon, Ascendant, definitely Venus, and definitely Mercury placements, okay? And I say that because March is going to be a very filled month, a very powerful month. I think every day, every month is powerful in its own right. But I'll go down the list as to why. And first and foremost, thank you for tuning into my channel. It means a great deal to me. If you like what you hear and see, please do me a favor and just push that like button. Definitely subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. It supports the channel so very much. And I definitely want to reach the 1,000 subscriber mark this year without fail, and you can help me immensely in that, should you feel so inclined, okay? I greatly appreciate it. Now, on to the reading. I have a format that I like to do, and what it is I start with a chakra check and what Spirit wants you to know about that specific chakra for the month of March. Now, I also do weekly readings and collectives, I call them, for all signs, and it's just the mundane energy and the reading that comes from the tarot. So check that out if you have not seen that. It's every Monday, it should come up. And then, but I start with Spirit's invitation for you to focus on this specific chakra. Once again, the energy centers that are naturally in our body. Everything is energy. So with these specific energy centers, I have 8 cards that represent 8 of the chakras. And the saying on them is what I like to call the mantras. So if you ever feel when I'm speaking to you about the specific chakra of the month, a sense of restriction or blockage of any kind, the mantra that you can speak will absolutely help to open this up. I do it every morning. I ask Spirit to open every one of my channels and chakras, and it just brings out so much more ability to feel whole and complete and energized and, ready to take on whatever it is you need to take on in your life. So I'm shuffling them under the table, and I'm just going to do it quickly, and then we'll see what's in store for you for the month with a message for your particular chakra. Now, I did have my conversation and my little meditation with you, Tauruses. I do this every time before I have a reading. I talk to you and have a little conversation prior to me actually recording. And the color that came up for you, for the gloves, and the energy that I think is really exuding right now is the light powder sky blue color. Now that has to do, in speaking of chakras, with the chakras that are upward, like your third eye, your psychic ability, your intuition, and then your crown chakra, as well as the 8th, which is the omnipotent, all-connecting consciousness, that we all are a part of in this world. So let's see what it says for you, and if I'm even close to the mark right now. And oh my gosh, okay. Well, it's blue. And it is a different shade of blue because I actually pulled this yesterday for Aries. Or Spirit wanted this to be seen. And I am understanding it more and more as the hours and the days go by. This represents the throat chakra. Now, what's really cool about that, Taurus, is that every single sign in the zodiac is known for a specific body part that they rule, if you will. And for all Tauruses, it's always been the throat. So how convenient, how beautiful is that? Now, let's see what it says specifically. And then I like to correlate the crystal, and I wear that during the reading to infuse the reading and give it extra power and strength and, protection. So it says number 5, which is the 5th chakra up. It starts at the base of our spine with the base chakra or root chakra and working itself up all the way to the crown, as I said, which is the top of the head, and then upward. Excuse me. And it says 5 in numerology represents change, first and foremost. The uniqueness of my voice is Spirit made manifest. I courageously speak my truth with balance and grace. As Lord Buddha said, neither jagged criticism nor flowery praise will keep me from my path. I hold to my wisdom with humble elegance. Humble, I think, is the main word that sticks out for me, and then just loving that and that kind of surrendering, but feeling confident in what you need to say and having that, that just come from the heart. In other words, the heart chakra is very close to the throat. So what you speak is authentic and it's real, it's genuine, and it's coming from your heart. So that is, once again, the message from Spirit for the month of March. Now, going rather quickly through some of the astrology aspects of the month, mainly the lunations, meaning the moons. We have 2 eclipses. So we're starting eclipse season. And the North Node, which is a position that has to do with the eclipse, is now in the sign of Pisces. The South Node is the polar opposition of Pisces, which is the Virgo. I like to use my little wheel here to just demonstrate every single sign, and there are 12 astrology signs if you're brand spanking new, just a simple little, lesson here. Every sign, six planets away in either direction is the actual polar oppositional sign, which is always a part of us. There's always this kind of a polar magnetism. And the fact that there's such differences is actually very complementary. And I find, as an astrologist that's been very fascinated in the compatibility of signs, a lot of oppositional signs have great relationships because they teach each other things. They're not so much the same. But we have the Pisces North Node, and that's what they call the head of the dragon. And we have the South Node, the tail of the dragon in Virgo. So that's where we want to release. North Node is the direction we want to go. That'll be prominent for the next 18 months. And it changes every 18 months. So there's one more key component to that. We are in Pisces season, which is extremely positive for you as an earth sign, Taurus. And Pisces is a water sign. We have Mercury in Pisces currently. We have, the sun, because it's, the birthday season. And happy birthday, all Pisceans. Perhaps you're with the Pisces and you're very close, or you have good friends and family and you fully understand that, because, like I said, there's a great compatibility between water and earth energy. So I feel like you probably do have a lot of Pisces friends or people you work with and such. But then we have the new moon on the 27th of February that took place. And it's all about new and truly listening to our intuition. There's a spiritual nature to it. There is a divinity to it. There is a call to truly listen and tune in to things that are going to be being brought to us through our chakras and our crown chakra, also through our dreams when it's Piscean energy. It's definitely our creativity being shown a new, specific energy or enlightenment or epiphany. It's imagination. It's intuitive, psychic, it's dreams, it's so many beautiful things. And that's happening for the whole collective. But for you, as a Taurus, you actually are very, very psychic. I've known many Tauruses, and I don't know that Pisces is definitely known for being psychic and one of the most psychic. All of us have psychic abilities. But I've known a lot of Tauruses, and I'm thinking it has a lot to do with the fact that you're an earth sign that's very grounded. You love the nature of things and the natural things. I find a lot of Tauruses are very, they don't necessarily wear a lot of makeup. I mean, they can, but predominantly. And then there's this belief in just things you can tangibly feel, touch, and smell, and taste, and all those senses. That's very much a part of something that interests you. And with the ruling planet of Venus being your ruling planet, Taurus, it's even more accentuated. Now, in addition to the 2 eclipses, one that'll be in Virgo, which is your fellow earth sign. So I think it's going to be very, very important for you, which is happening on the 13th or 14th, depending on where you're located, of March. And that's going to be a full lunar eclipse. Now, any kind of moon that's full is always going to light up a certain circumstance. If there's an issue or there's something that's unresolved or something, it will culminate that to then begin and start anew. When it is an eclipse, it's just 10 times the power and potency of full moons. So there can be a lot of quick, unexpected changes and beginnings and endings. And I will also say to you that I have found, especially for me, this can happen a month before the eclipses. It can actually even happen a month after. The information or the lessons that are being learned, and the effect actually can go anywhere from 6 months to a year. So we start with that Virgo moon and lunar eclipse, and then we go to the new moon eclipse at the end of the month, which will be in, Aries. Now, that's the last eclipse of the series that was Aries North Node and Libra South Node for the past 18 months. So that is a new beginning, and Aries is so incredibly powerful as far as our energy. They're Mars ruled, and they are just so strong and courageous, and they're leaders. They represent actually the beginning of the astrology year, because we have Mars season starting on the 20th of March. We're still in Pisces, as I mentioned. And then we have, this eclipse where you want to write down anything you can that you're truly, truly wanting, desiring, wanting to manifest, wanting to see come into fruition as the new moon starts a new beginning of sorts, okay? And then lasts for, like I said, a very long time years after, really. Whatever you start could have effects. And that's something you're really invested in, because any Taurus that I've ever known, being a grounded sign, you're very methodical. You want things just done in a certain way. You don't necessarily feel like you need to rush. You know where you're heading. You're very resourceful. You are the money sign as well, Taurus. So that has a lot to do with the Venus aspect. But what I'm trying to say too is Venus retrogrades the very, very first day of March. And that will go through the 13th of April. What does retrograde mean? Well, I've written it down because I've said it a few times, but I inevitably tend to forget the words. Bottom line, anything with re, meaning R-E, at the beginning of it. Here's my list. You revisit, you renovate, you renew, you reconciliate, you release, you return, you relax, you refresh, and you reschedule. And boy, I'm telling you, as a business owner, the rescheduling is real. And here's the thing, that's the Mercury retrograde as well. So we'll have 2 retrogrades in March. That's huge. That's unusual. And then we have the eclipses. So this is a month to allow yourself to just let be. Don't try to push yourself forward in any strong direction. A lot of things I think you've already had in your mind about wanting to change, and this is the time to do those, final touches and just kind of go over everything. If it's a job idea, a new job, make sure you're going to get the pay you want. If it is a new relationship, be aware, because things change. Things look so much different when it's Venus involved, even if it's in a retrograde. And as far as your aesthetics and how you look and how you feel, you don't want to go out and necessarily do something too dramatic. You may end up regretting it during a retrograde in Venus. So just wait that, 4 or 5 weeks, 6 weeks. It's not a long time. You know how fast time goes by. Those are the preliminary things. Just know if you were to go forward, there's a lot of things that won't necessarily reach the point until these planets are then stationed forward again. Okay, and they build up their momentum, and then you're good to go, and everything just falls into place. You've had the chance to look it over and review and relax and think about it. It can be absolutely beautiful. So in conclusion with this 5th chakra, I'm going to add the appropriate, Oh, no. Okay, 1 second. Bear with me 1 moment. I apologize. Here it is. For the heart chakra, gosh, I could have sworn it, or the throat, excuse me, is the lapis lazuli. And that is, and I put in this I don't know what was happening. This is part of the retrograde. It's a little kooky, having to kind of go over things. I thought this was, in the light, the lapis lazuli. This is jade, but let me tell you what. Jade is a beautiful heart-centered chakra. So, oh no, I was right. Yesterday's was the heart. Don't mind me. Talking out loud so that we can get through this together in the best possible way. I'm going to reach for my bag and show you the actual one for the throat, which was 2 readings ago, not yesterday's. And it is a gorgeous, gorgeous crystal. And it speaks about what exactly this crystal can do, should you ever want to keep this just to have as I always say, a way to create even more protection and positive energy that it can emit. And it speaks of truth, purpose, and voice. Once again, with the voice, the clarity that you need and you want to speak, especially during the Mercury retrograde. I will be tripping over my words more than normal. Most of the readers I watch do, and I think, oh, you poor sweethearts. But we get through it, you know, with your patience, and I do appreciate your patience. For example, with this whole, crystal thing. Lapis lazuli, I gently speak my truth and release all fears around judgment. Those are definitely words to live by. There's always going to be judgment. We can't take everything to heart. You may feel a little more sensitive. I know there have been times in the last few weeks I have, in preparation of this retrograde, no doubt. I tend to feel things before a lot of times, or there's already things happening in action to show me in little hints of what's to come. And I appreciate that, That's what I love about astrology and tarot anyway. They're messages to kind of guide us. And we have free will, but there's things that we don't have free will about, and just being able to accept that and know that we live through it all and stronger and become stronger because of it. So I'm going to, like I said, wear this as a way to infuse the reading. Speaking of which, I'm going to be doing a 6-card layout. I wanted to save a little bit of time because I know I'm a little behind with the readings. And, the first is already coming up on Saturday. So I'm finishing these up to the best of my ability. I have a couple of massages later today, so I was able to start when it's nice and bright. And I'm using my beautiful cat tarot deck, which I love. For those that are animal lovers, and hopefully those that aren't, it's a wonderful deck and it's really cool. It's beautifully illustrated. So let's get on to the reading. And what I will do, this just fell out. Okay, I like this. It's interesting. Very interesting. It's the 8 of Swords. And let me double check that though. For some reason, there's something making me hesitate. What I wanted to say is, even though it fell out, I'm going to be doing a past, present, future with the clarification card, and then finishing with a couple of oracles as well. Okay? Ones that I find to be very useful and helpful. But in regards to this deck, let me find the actual box for you, because I need to show you and make absolutely sure. There's just a little bit of a confusion for me when it comes to, here it is. This has been interesting so far. I love it. I don't do much editing too. What you see is what you get. But it's okay. I'm sure you're not going to be that critical. I mean, come on. It's all good. Let's go into let me make sure it is the swords. So what did I say? The 8. It is not. Okay, so let's see, because it looked as though it was a good thing. The cat is just like licking its lips. And what is that? Is it the wands? I think it might be. Let's get to the wands. This is one that I have not seen for a while. I haven't actually used this deck for a while. It is not the wands. What are we doing here? Well, then it leaves the pentacles, and it's not the pentacles or the cups. I'm just confused right now. That is so weird. 5, 6, 7, 8. That's swords. I'm sorry. This is so bizarre. We're going to get to the bottom of it, though, because that's what I do. Clearly not the cups. And then Swords I've done, Cups, and the... Let's go. The last one would be the Pentacles. That's all I've got. How interesting. Usually there's food or something, but oh, it is the Pentacles. And it says in parentheses, it's reward time. Okay. Thank you for your patience. Please bear with me. I just didn't see that at all. Normally it's the little pieces of cat food. Okay, so that's good to know, and I will remember for sure next time. Your recent past. 8 of Pentacles. So this is sustenance. This is absolutely 8 in numerology, by the way, is power. It's abundance. It's the most prosperous number. So clearly with 8 sardines on a plate, this cat is in ultimate heaven, right? So something came through, and you know, you see the little, oh, there's a dead giveaway right there. There's the Pentacles right on the curtain. I see them as stars as well. This is you, though. This is your earthly energy, Taurus. This is you manifested some really beautiful things, but not without the effort. That's the one thing I do want to say about the 8 of Pentacles. And the depiction in the Rider-Waite-Smith, for example, deck is of a blacksmith, and he's hammering away at his, pentacles, and he's got them all out, and he's just busy as can be, and he's just worked really hard, which is not unusual for any earth sign I've ever known, specifically Taurus, Virgo, Capricorns. You're in it to win it. You are steadfast and reliable, and you're hard workers. So this is what you get. You get this incredible feast. You get to reap the benefits of what you've, created for yourself. You're feeling good, but there's only 2 more to get to the 10 of Pentacles. So keep up the good work. Then we have the card that represents your present time. This has fallen out as well, by the way. So there's a reason for all of that in the hesitation, I'm sure. Just an indication of the retrograde, right? Where we have to wait a little bit and be patient. And then we have, I'm going to do these clarifications I mentioned. So that was the recent past coming into this present time for you. And just know, like as I said, with this new moon happening in Pisces, there's a lot of new opportunities. You want to grab those. You want to believe it. You want to meditate on it. Do whatever you write out your intentions, as I said. That's extra powerful. For the present, you have the 5 of Pentacles. Well, see, that is another pentacle. Now, there is a relation here with another cat. There's the Pentacles right here. And I love this rendition of this, because you have the Pentacles above and you have them here. Now, that would represent 10. That's the most. That's the best with everything, your well-being, your health, your family, your possessions, the material parts of life, which is the Pentacles in general. But what I'm seeing here is you've only got the 5 so far. It's like you're building up to it. Maybe somehow you felt left out, or you feel like you were, you're lacking in some way. And those are things we think when, let's say, we haven't been feeling well, we're a little bit tired, our energy levels haven't been as good as they've been. Now listen, Mars, the planet of aggression and motivation and energy and, spirit and all that, had been retrograde for over 2 months. And I don't know about you, Taurus. I mean, if you had any fire placements and you know about that in your natal chart, you definitely felt it. I have an Aries moon. Man, I felt it. All I could do was recognize it will not last forever, as usual, but also my work had slowed down. I was questioning that greatly, and I've been doing it for many, many years, but things change, right? So just being realistic about it. And I also just took as much time as I could to rest and build my energy so that I would be healthy. And knock on wood, a lot of my clients were ill that I was not. So just don't get into a mode or feeling like, wow, I should be further along, or, and I just don't feel like I'm thought about, or all those thoughts that tend to come in our minds sometimes. Let them go, please, okay? As soon as they come in, and build the momentum of knowing I may be having to wait. I may be stalled. There may be delays, but I'm in it to win it. And this represents a partnership or somebody that can help you and make you feel like you are as worthy. I mean, you yourself are the ones responsible for that. But I'm definitely feeling there's a spiritual guidance here for you. Okay? So that's the present energy right now, and we'll clarify that. Then we have the future. Page of Swords. Well, the page is the youthful beginning. It's a new beginning. Pages, like any of the knights or pages, kings, queens, the court cards basically, are messengers. Well, specifically the pages and the knights. And this has to do with a youthful energy. Perhaps a child, perhaps one of your children, perhaps you're about to have a child. And you're thinking, oh, am I going to be able to provide? Is there enough for all of us to eat and feel comfortable? The answer is absolutely yes. You know how capable you are, Taurus. Remind yourself and remember that always, even through the transitions and the changes that we all experience throughout our lives. You come up, smelling like a rose. So there's information here in my mind that you're going to be feeling, and this is in the mind because it has to do with the swords, and that's the air sign. So that's the Aquarius, Gemini, and Libras of the zodiac. And once again, Venus rules Libra. So, thinking about things, is it time to consider having a child? How can this work out? And really thinking about that during this retrograde and having those discussions you want, working things through. So that when Venus goes direct, as I mentioned, and Mercury goes direct, you're fully equipped in all areas of your life, and you feel very, very ready. But just know it could also pertain to having fun and keeping that childlike wonder, never letting go of that. So let's go back again. We've got this beautiful Eight of Pentacles showing that you've been working hard, you're really doing well, you're mastering your crafts, your relationships, whatever the case may be. With Venus retrograde, I always refer to love in all different forms. It doesn't have to be romance. It could be partnerships at work. I'm experiencing that myself in regards to everything I mentioned in the energies, and the talks are happening. But yeah, it varies from person to person. It could be family situation. Your clarification on the 8 is the Knight of Wands. So you're getting information that's really, really powerful. It's very, very fiery. It's exciting. It's adventurous. It could be travel. It could be just deciding, you know what? Let's just try something completely new. Let's just get out of the box. Let's not, let's go to a country we've never gone. It could be universal. The Wands being the, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarians, that they're spirited, they're passionate. They definitely like to lead and show. And so you're getting some new ideas, some new inspirations. You really are. And I think it has to do with the fiery aspect that's really going to be predominant in the month of March, being Aries season, Aries eclipse I mentioned. It's really powerful, but it's really going to be motivating to you. It's going to make you really, it's going to spark interest in ways that you may not have necessarily thought. The eclipses can change it quickly, as I said. So that's another thing that you were kind of coming into this reading with. The present clarification on the 5 of Pentacles, which is like you're feeling like I'm good, but I could be better, and so forth. You have the Empress. Oh my goodness. Well, this is you. This is a Venus-ruled sign. Is there an... Yep, right there. That little glyph represents, excuse me, the planet Venus. So it's very, very important to you to realize that you are extremely capable. You are loved. You are all the things you need to be. And Venus is your ruler, whether it's retrograde or not. You have favor in the way that things can work out. Any direction that Venus is in, it's still that magical part. I just feel like you want to create. I feel like it has to do with definitely ideas and creative ideas. I mentioned with Pisces being at the helm in the North Node and many planets in Pisces. I really feel that, the Empress is the epitome of love. It's the epitome of expression and, just creativity and all the wonderful things that I think they've just been in you, and you just want to really spark that happening. So this month will be when you're really kind of working at the fine-tuning of that so that you can express it to the world. That is fantastic, and it does show that anything can be changed, any thought can be changed. And then your future, the Page of Swords, something having that's new and kind of green, but it's definitely perking your interest, some message about that. You have the Hanged Man. Well, that's the sign of Pisces. That's the major arcana. Now, generally, here we see this kitten upside down. This is the tree of life. And there's usually a beautiful halo around the person on the other Rider-Waite-Smith, depiction. Taking his time or her time. It's not a gender associated thing. It's just listening and being in tune with your, once again, the Piscean nature of otherworldly ideas, magic, spirit, imagination, just creativity, personified, new perspectives on things, not feeling rushed because it wouldn't really do you any good anyway. Waiting and seeing about, well, if it's meant to be and we're meant to have a child, it's going to happen. It's very, very, very fertile time as well. So that is your reading. I'm going to finish with a couple of the oracles, as I mentioned, but let me tell you, I love and am very excited about this for you because you have a lot of positivity here, and it's very conducive and very synchronistic with what's going to happen in March, as far as kind of waiting and seeing and, and giving yourself time to think and envision and manifest exactly what you want. Okay, so then we have the oracle I'm going to use is going to be the Wisdom of the Oracle. I'll just pull a couple. It's one word that you can just kind of take with you as well. See if it kind of culminates with the rest of the reading. Actually, let's just pull out 3. What the heck? We've got Time to Go. Soulmates. Wow. Okay, right in front of this Empress, which is, like I said, it's all about love and opening our heart, and just, you might find the love of your life, or the one that has been the love of your life. You're gonna go to the next step. Okay, there's something very powerful here. And regeneration. Well, if that isn't, that's a re if I have ever heard of one. I didn't even add that. I have to add that to the list. Sorry about the glare. Yeah. Regeneration. Rethinking, all the things that, have been in there, and you're just like, you know what? I'm going to go this way instead of that way for a change. Even if it's a different way to work. I absolutely love that. That's positive as well. Beautiful. And then lastly, let me just pick the one card that I love because it does have to do with love. And, Venus is very much in the picture for the next 6 weeks, starting with its retrograde on the 1st. Time to go. Make it happen, Yeah, you can be thinking about it right now, but then, bam, once you hit the ground running, when it goes direct. So then the other is this beautiful deck I have, and it's called the Mastery of Love. So I'll just pick one out for you. Do a shuffle or two, and oh, that's part of the box. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is by, Don Miguel Ruiz. What a heart guy he is. He has a lot of love in that guy. So yours is the Play Like a Child. Well, that's the second time that's come up. And that's that Page of Swords. Like, just get out there. Go on a vacation. Relax, during the time that you're not necessarily going to push forward, but in a relaxing mood like nature that you love, and maybe in your own garden that you've planted, because I know how good, earth signs can be, and Tauruses are with their gardens. I envy them greatly. It says you are never going to be alone if you are generous with your love. What makes you happy is love coming out of you. And if you are generous with your love, everyone is going to love you. Okay? So that's absolutely beautiful. I think it's a great month looking ahead. I really appreciate you being here. Do like and subscribe if you like what you're hearing. I'll be back every month, and I do the collective on Mondays. Enjoy your month. Really take it in and trust in your feelings and your ability to create the life you want. Take good care. Thanks so much. Bye for now.